The International Day of People with Disability is a day to celebrate abilities of people with disability.
Having this day for me, it means that someone with ADHD and autism can be seen and recognised as someone that is worthy of contribution to society.
You know, it's absolutely fantastic, kind of a little cheer like, yay, we feel like we've been recognised.
Well, I think the fact that there is a day every year gives us a real window into what's changing in relation to people with disabilities, certainly in the Australian context.
With my journey, it took me a long time to explain to some people I may look perfectly all right from the outside, but inside I am constantly fighting a battle.
If you think someone breaks their arm in a cast, automatically, you know, friends and family or even colleagues may say, you know, what happened to you? But with invisible disabilities, potentially no one would know.
I think when we talk about disability, one thing to always be mindful of is 80% of disability is invisible. There is a need to have a disability tailored response which acknowledges the different types of disability in the community and the challenges that each and every one of those individuals face.
And sometimes we presume we know, and one of the things that I've learned is people with disabilities are the only people that genuinely know. And if you ask them, they'll give you very good responses.
Having an open mind when you're talking to people, when people are discussing their disabilities, is a great first step.
And there's so many incredible advocates we have out there in the disability sector who share their story and talk about their story.
It's just a lot of that recognition is really important, and in my work where I have worked with people that have vestibular migraines or dyslexia even, learning difficulties, and they just don't get the recognition. People judge them constantly because they're like, oh, why can't they get it? And it's like, well, no, there's reasons behind it.
Someone like me, people with disabilities in general, we just want the same kind of treatment. We just want to be treated equally.
But every single one of the people with disability in Australia have human rights and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect.
Just because I have an invisible disability, because I have a mental health issue, doesn't mean I should be excluded from that category.
I think this year people should celebrate International Day of People with Disability in their own unique way.
People with disability really need to be flying that flag, but we want the rest of the community on board.
But that only means something if the rest of the community, workers, service providers, neighbours, families and friends are willing to act.
Even if that means leaving a simple message on social media, each celebration is going to have a positive impact, not only in Australia, but all around the world.
Most of us have just felt invisible. We just haven't really been asked about our experiences, like we have never been really given that space. So I think that's really the most powerful thing you can do on this day, is to really ask people, whether you know them around you, ask them on social media, because yeah, we do have stories to tell. We do want to be included in society. And
There are definitely people that you have in your organisation that is related to, or a friend with someone that has a hidden disability or a mental health issue. Like, it affects everybody's life. So that's why I think it's really important that just the wider society, wider community start to recognise this day, because it would just change people's perceptions and lives, really.